What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I'm about to go in, man. I gotta school some of you cats. Now, everybody and their mama want to see Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, including me. I still want to see the fight, especially after, Pacquiao's on a win streak after this knockout, and Mayweather's still undefeated. Like, just make the fight happen. I wish I could use this video as a petition, like an online petition, to get boxing to make this fucking fight. I just want to see it. Put all the speculation and stories and different opinions to rest. But I gotta school some of you guys. Some of you guys are using Pacquiao's performance, and he looked good against Chris Algieri, to nominate Pacquiao to beat Floyd Mayweather, as if there's any similarities between Floyd Mayweather and Chris Algieri. So again, some of you guys failed to put boxing into perspective. I don't give a fuck who you like. You can like Pacquiao, you can like Mayweather, Cotto. I don't really care. I get paid regardless. So it doesn't matter to me. But if you were going to make an argument, make a solid argument. Say, I think Pacquiao beats Floyd for X, Y, and Z. Don't use Chris Algieri because he really has no relevance or similarities to Floyd Mayweather. And some of the same diehard Pacquiao fans that are using Chris Algieri as the rationale of why Pacquiao beats Mayweather were the same ones that got mad when Marquez knocked Pacquiao out, and they were saying, oh, just because Marquez knocked out Pacquiao doesn't mean Floyd will do it, which is true. However, using the Marquez Floyd comparison, in my opinion, is a little bit more understandable. The only reason being, like, first of all, if one fighter beats another fighter, it doesn't grant another person a victory. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? Marquez fought Pacquiao multiple times. Floyd fighting him would be his first time. You know what I mean? So there's different variables. But I think the comparison with Marquez and Mayweather is a little bit more apples to apples than Mayweather to fucking Chris Algieri. And here's why. Because if you look at everything Marquez embodies, what he does well, he's a counterpuncher and he's a smart fighter, those types of things. And then you look at the parallel, which is Floyd Mayweather, and everything Marquez does, Floyd does, but perhaps he does it better. Floyd has longer arms than Marquez. Floyd is faster than Marquez. Floyd is bigger than Marquez. Floyd has been fighting bigger guys. Marquez gets credit for being tough all the time. And Marquez is one of my favorites. He gets credit for being tough all the fucking time. Getting back, being a warrior, getting back into the fight after a knockdown. But you look at his career, he's been knocked down by Pacquiao 3 times in the first fight. The second fight, he got knocked down once or twice. He got knocked down again by Pacquiao in the fourth fight, and he knocked Pacquiao down in the fourth fight and then knocked him out. He's been knocked down by Katsitas. He was dominating Mike Alvarado, and he knocked Mike Alvarado down. I think the very next round, Alvarado knocked him down. Even a light puncher like Timothy Bradley basically had him almost touching the canvas, his glove almost touching the canvas too. You look at Floyd Mayweather, he's never been on his back like that. You could say, oh, the Zab Judah, his glove touched. But that, I mean, it wasn't ruled as an actual knockdown, just like Marquez, when his glove touched or whatever against Bradley, it wasn't ruled an actual knockdown. So technically, Floyd has been buckled, he's been hurt. Shane Mosley showed you that, and he clinched, and he didn't get knocked down. The Zab Judah is questionable because it wasn't considered a knockdown. But needless to say, he's never been on his full back like Marquez has. So, but people don't give Floyd credit for his chin. That's another issue. So again, you look at Marquez and what he does, and you look at Floyd, what he does. Floyd has better defense than Marquez. Floyd has better footwork, in my opinion. He's just lighter on his feet, swifter, just a lot more elusive. So when people say because of Marquez has troubled Floyd Mayweather in that style, and then you see someone who's a souped up version of that, that's why some people believe that Mayweather will also beat Pacquiao. Now, again, just because Marquez did it doesn't mean that that Floyd will do it. Because Marquez possibly, and this is a might, I don't know because I don't have actual CompuBox numbers. Marquez possibly has more offense and lets his hand go more. I don't really know who throws more punches, but either way, it doesn't matter because Floyd is more accurate. Floyd has some of the highest accuracy in the game. So again, when you're comparing what Marquez does and has troubled Pacquiao, you see Floyd does those same things, the counter punching with better speed, better footwork, bigger, longer arms. better defense, more of a thinker. That's why I think people use that comparison. But some of you guys are getting up here comparing fucking Chris Algieri, which I told you several times, several videos. Watch my post fight. I even included some of the early audio dialogue where I was telling you Chris Algieri was not on the level. He spent his whole career fighting at home with the hometown advantage. Other guys like Carl Froch, Amir Khan, they've had to travel. You know what I mean? Amir Khan went to D.C. in Lamont Peterson's fucking backyard to fight him. And I thought Amir Khan should have won that fight. It was close. There was some 2-point deductions. It was controversial and all that. So a lot of the champions, Pacquiao, Mayweather in his younger years, they've all traveled. Chris Algieri didn't. And he came from a kickboxing background, which is different than boxing. You get to use your feet and your legs. Obviously, you might get more stoppages if there's a culmination between kicking and punching versus boxing. Chris Algieri had 8 knockouts. I mean, I told you guys, I spelled it out for you. I said he's getting fucked up, and Pacquiao backed me up and fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? I actually thought it would be a little bit slightly more competitive than it was, but needless to say, I told you guys he was getting fucked up. He didn't have the experience. He didn't have power, which he doesn't have that home run come from behind victory. Like John Molina versus Mickey Bay. He was getting his ass whooped all fight, but John Molina has a gift from God. It's called power. So he was able to, in the 12th round, hurt Mickey Bay to the point where it had to be stopped. Chris Algieri had no shot of doing that. Pacquiao is tough. Pacquiao has a chin. And besides that, Chris Algieri doesn't have power. So if he got behind on the scorecards, it wasn't going to happen. It's just like, it reminds me of Austin Trout versus Canelo. I knew that since they had the open scoring, Canelo was going to win the fight because the open scoring had Austin Trout so far behind where I knew he didn't have the power to really hurt and disable Canelo. Canelo's tough, same situation, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't see the level of snap or pop that would be needed to create a knockdown or several knockdowns on Canelo. So I knew Austin Trout, once I seen how fucked up they were scoring the fight in Texas and how far behind they had Trout losing by a landslide, it was a wrap. I knew Canelo was going to win because, if anything, Trout has to get desperate and open himself up and get hurt like he did, trying to one-up Canelo or knock him down or force something and fight a fight that is not his fight. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Chris Algieri. When you get desperate, that's when the openings come because all the fighter who's in the lead has to do is fight smart and capitalize on your mistakes in your desperation. So I told you Chris Algieri wasn't going to win. But to compare him to Mayweather, I don't care if you absolutely hate Floyd Mayweather. It really doesn't matter to me. But how much of a hater are you going to be? Like, to compare that man to Chris Algieri is an abhorrent. It's like, it's ridiculous to me that I'm even reading comments where people are like, oh yeah, because of Chris Algieri, Mayweather's next. Like, what? If you think Pacquiao beats Mayweather, cool. I have no problem with that. But at least have a better argument. Like, come on, don't say no dumb shit. Chris Algieri hadn't proven anything. How many world champions has Chris Algieri beat? You know what I'm saying? How many times has he proven himself? Mayweather, on the other hand, he's been around 18, 19 years as a pro, went to the Olympics. Where's Chris Algieri's Olympic background? How many times has Chris Algieri fought outside of New York, excluding the Pacquiao fight? You know what I'm saying? I think he barely won the Ruslan Provodnikov fight. And again, if you don't believe me, go search it, type in Egos World 1 and shit, and go search my post-fight video for that fight, Chris Algieri versus Ruslan Provodnikov. I said it was kind of hard to score. It was a close, competitive fight, but I had Ruslan winning. When I got on the mic, turned the mic on, and did my post-fight video, I said Ruslan won. And then I went back and watched. I'm like, okay, Ruslan was stalking, and he wasn't really effective after he had him hurt. So, you know what I mean? I could see how some people have it for Chris Algieri. But truthfully, when I initially did the video, I had Ruslan winning. And I know Dan Rayfield also had Ruslan winning. And there's other people. So, needless to say, no matter how you scored that particular fight, it was a close competitive fight won by a split decision. It's kind of like Adrian Broner, Paulie Malignaggi. I think Broner won barely. I cannot see. I'm legally blind. Sorry, I just had to do that. But, I mean, it was a competitive fight. There's no disputing that. You know what I mean? So, fights like that, Chris Algieri and Ruslan, Broner and Malignaggi, even fights like Canelo Lara. I understand both sides because that's the type of fight they were. They were close, competitive fights. Both fighters had spots where they looked good. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But Chris Algieri barely won that. You know what I'm saying? When's Chris Algieri's last dominant performance? And by dominant, I mean like people were like labeling him this masterclass boxer, like he was just so swift and agile. I didn't see that. I thought he was a good, solid fighter. You know what I mean? But it wasn't a given that he would beat any top guys at 140 either. People were like, "Oh, Chris." Like I said, I don't even understand where this Chris Algieri bandwagon came from. I have no problems with Chris Algieri. He seems like a likable enough dude, humble dude that trains hard. But people were saying, "Oh, he kills Broner. He'll kill Danny Garcia. He kills Lamont Peterson." Like guys who were proven a bit more. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, why does Chris Algieri kill these people? Yes, he has a height advantage over most of these dudes, but that still remained to be seen. And I think we seen that yesterday. And I understand Pacquiao's Pacquiao. There's still guys Chris Algieri could beat at 140, but the blueprint is kind of out there. Like, you know what I mean? Pacquiao's literally walking through his punches. And I mean, once you get had Ruslan press the action a little bit more, he might have been able to get that win officially. So again, I don't care if you think Pacquiao will beat Mayweather, but at least come up with a better argument as to why he beats Floyd Mayweather and not use Chris Algieri, because really Chris Algieri is less proven than a lot of people. And I told you that going into the fight, which is why I got another prediction right. And I know some of y'all are mad. Y'all hate when I get my predictions right. Y'all can't wait for me to get one wrong. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I personally just want to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao. I don't want to hear talking and speculation and observation. I just want to see the fucking fight. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.